Hello again everyone, this is MarcBrightside, and welcome back to Yume Nikki. Now you may be wondering, why exactly are we back at Yume Nikki? I mean, the Let's Play finished quite a long time ago, and we showed off basically everything in the game, so what really is there left? Well, it turns out that there is a stone I left unturned, and we're going to be doing some glitching this time around. You may remember, about halfway through the LP, I showed off the speed glitch, which is what happens if you go to your desk, equip an effect, preferably the bike, and it lets you run around at hyperspeed. I'll put details of why this works in the description. However, there is actually something else we can do involving this desk. Go over to the desk and equip the knife, specifically the knife, nothing else. Turn around, and then as you exit the desk, hold down the 1 button. And what should happen is, as you step off the desk, Madotsuki should change which hand she holds the knife in. And if you've done it correctly, you'll be able to walk through walls. Now, I don't actually know why this works, and you can walk through anything. You can walk through any terrain, any object, any enemy, you name it, you'll pass straight through it. Makes going through doors a little bit annoying. And you may be wondering, what's the purpose of this? What can we actually do with this? Well, the answer is not really very much, unfortunately, because of the way the game handles warp points. You can activate any... how do I word this? Any warp point that requires you to physically move over to it and interact with it will still work. So doors, enemies that warp you to new locations, all of those will still work. However, any warp point that requires you to just move into it, such as this gate in the forest world, will not activate. And this is the same for stairs, for any form of gateway. And unfortunately, this really limits the amount of areas that we can actually explore. However, there is a way around this, and really, at this point, I'm just aiming to show off a few interesting things that you can find by walking through walls, such as this. If you go into the number world, you can actually get down into the canal where Steve Leaf, however you pronounce his surname, appears, and you can actually find out that, yeah, when you're using the cat at the edge of the canal, you're not actually spawning him in. He is actually here in the canal, and by meowing with the cat, you're just physically dragging him over. And as you just saw, he can be stabbed, which I don't know why he wouldn't be able to, but it's just something interesting to find out. A lot of what I'm going to be showing here is relatively pointless, unless you have a genuine interest in the game. Now, what I said before about several areas being quite difficult to access, that is true. However, there's a way we can make that easier, and it involves using the Toriningen. As I've shown before, if you stab a Toriningen and let it catch you, it will warp you to a new location, usually one that's blocked off from everything around it. However, the problem is, because we are intangible at the moment, the Toriningen cannot actually catch us. So what you need to do is position yourself so that you are half in and half out of an object, such as these beds, and then let the Toriningen touch you, and it will teleport you as normal. And as you can see, because we can walk through walls, we're no longer trapped, and we're actually free to explore the whole area, in which case it dumped us off in the lamp world. All very nice. However, the applications for this go a little bit beyond just, breaking free and not being trapped. There are a selection of 3 Toriningen back in the area that I just came from, near the Guillotine world. Sorry, in the Guillotine world. And these Toriningen can be used to warp to Hell. Now, from Hell, there are 4 warp points that we can use to access other areas, as well as 3 Toriningen that can be used to warp to other areas. So we're going to be doing a lot of travelling to Hell in this video. We're going to be going backwards and forwards quite a bit. Such as here, this Toriningen will take us to a section of the dense woods. This is a nice easy way to access the dense woods if you just wanted to see the area. Unfortunately, there isn't really much we can do, but hey, it's a hobby. If we go down from the main road, the one that loops around infinitely, we can actually explore beyond the tree barrier. And out here, we can actually find something really interesting. There's a jellyfish. Let's talk to it. Yeah, it crashes the game. I don't know why this jellyfish is here. I don't know what purpose it could have possibly originally served, but it's there, and because the jellyfish are designed to specifically interact with the environment, the jellyfish warp your surroundings, and that jellyfish doesn't have anything, it's not coded to do anything, it will crash the game when you speak to it. Right now I'm just showing off that sleeping in a bed or sitting on a bench will actually cancel out the glitch, so unfortunately we can't get to the Staircase of Hands, we can't get to Mars, and we can't get to the mall. There's a lot of areas we can't access, which is disappointing. Again, I'm going to put some more information in the description. Right now I'm just sort of explaining how things work. And when we're in the guillotine room, all three of the Toriningen there have a slightly different design. Two of them are wearing, well I say all three, two of them are wearing long purple dresses, and one of them is wearing a stripy jumper. The one with the stripy jumper will send you to hell, the other two will take you to the dense woods. So the one in the striped top is by far the most important. Now, the interesting thing about going into hell is that even though it is, cordoned off as a maze, we can actually pass through all of that, and it does still loop around. So finding the Toriningen can be a bit of a pain. I would recommend having a map handy. But eventually finding one will allow us to do this. Trippy trippy. Unfortunately, the teleport pads around this area don't work, which is a real shame because I really wanted to get to the FC world with walkthrough walls active. There might be a way to do it, I'm still unsure. Another area that I want to explore would be the Infinite Wilderness, but I don't think there's any way we can actually access that area, unfortunately. I would like to try. I've been experimenting with it for a while, but I'm really not sure. The game's quite inconsistent with what does and doesn't work while you're walking through walls. Like, this area is actually enormous. I didn't realise how large the teleport maze actually was until I explored it a bit with walkthrough walls active. The area is massive, but there's nothing we can do there, so it's just something to look at more than anything else. Anyway, going back to the dense woods, there is actually something else that's a bit strange to show off. If we go back to the Infinite Road, the one that loops back around endlessly until you talk to the jellyfish, we can actually find out something a bit strange. If you talk to the jellyfish with walkthrough walls active, it will chime like normal, but its effect won't take place. The road will still loop endlessly, and I don't know why that happens. I don't know what would happen with the orchids in the Sky Garden, but yeah, it just doesn't work for whatever reason. Now, speaking of the Sky Garden, we're actually going to be going there in a few moments, and the Sky Garden has one really interesting feature about it. The odd thing is, if you get there with walkthrough walls active, for starters, this is by far the easiest way to access the Sky Garden. If you're going through all 24 effects, then just do it this way, fuck the Infinite Wilderness, unless you still need to get the towel, never mind. Yeah, you can use these benches to cancel out the glitch so that you can continue forward, but the odd thing is, if you go over to the right side of the screen, for some reason, this warp point will activate. And I don't know why. It only activates if you're in a certain position, but it will. You can go through it. And I don't know why. It doesn't cancel out the glitch, and it's the only one in the game that you can actually walk through. See, the house over here doesn't work, but because we kept the glitch active, we can do this. Hooray for having an ET moment. And this light in the sky is actually really interesting because it doesn't behave like an NPC. Like, when we're in the sky up here, it's not attracted by the cat, it's not scared away by the knife. You can't do anything with this light at all. I just assumed it would have been, like a tiny non-player character. I like how the green people move away if you equip the knife in the sky. But yeah, we can't do anything with this at all. And it's interesting to me, that's all. I don't know why this one warp point works at all. And look, it's the only thing in the game I have found, the only thing that doesn't freeze when you use the stoplight. Everything else will. Everything else in the game will freeze. Even, well, aside from background patterns, maybe that's what this is. Maybe it is just a background detail that's been pushed into the foreground. I don't know. That's confusing to me. But aside from that, not really a whole lot else to do here. Like I said, very easy way of accessing the Sky Garden if that's what you want to do. So aside from that, the other locations we can reach in Hell are we can get onto the footprint path, I should say, where there honestly really isn't anything we can do here. You can't stab those weird things. But oddly, the panel that makes them do their thing, I don't really know what you'd call that, will only activate if you're actually standing on the footprint tiles. I thought that was a bit strange, but oh well. If I can eventually actually catch this brick, we can get over to here. And now I really, really wish that the warp point at the bottom of this screen would work, because there's another Toriningen down there that will take you somewhere interesting. It will take you to an isolated area in the docks. And if I could get to the docks, then I could get to the barracks settlement, and I could get to the infinite wilderness. And I really, really would... If anyone knows how I can get to the infinite wilderness with walkthrough walls active, please tell me, because that's an area that I really want to explore, but right now it doesn't look possible. You can't get to the White Desert either. Neither of the gateways will function. Just showing off here that, yeah, both of the purple striped Toriningen, they both take you to the dense woods, but oddly enough, this second one will actually kill the music for some reason. The other one won't. The other one will warp you here, and the game will function normally, but for some reason, yeah, the game goes completely silent when you use that one. This Toriningen in the snow world, I don't actually remember where this one takes you, so let's find out. We have to get caught in the object as per usual. Okay, it just takes you back to Hell, so yeah, nothing particularly useful about that one. We cannot enter the pyramid, even with the midget effect equipped, annoyingly. Again, FC World, really would quite like to go there. If anyone knows how to get to the FC World or Infinite Wilderness, please tell me, and I will make a video on it and see what I can find. I believe I've actually shown off pretty much everything you can do with walkthrough walls, well, everything interesting. So I'll have another look at that at some point. However, there is actually a bit of a strange thing with the super fast Toriningen in the Candle world. If it doesn't catch you immediately, then the game has a heart attack and it will just crash. Yeah, it will kill the music, the whole game will just shut down, but it sort of hangs for about a good 20 seconds or so before the game resets itself. It actually worried me for a second because I couldn't quit out to my operating system. So, yeah, that's a thing. If she does catch you, I don't believe she sends you anywhere particularly interesting, but that's just odd. I think because she moves so quickly, the game just expects you to get caught. So if you don't, the game doesn't know how to process things. Or maybe it's because she's moving in and out of your sprite so quickly. I don't know. This area is still boring, even with walkthrough walls. Quite interesting as to how much black space there is in this area. You can walk really far up and to the left. But aside from that, this is still the most boring area in the game. I don't even really know why I'm covering it, to be honest. It's just for the sake of completion. Oh well. Moving on, just want to show off now that even if you are in the block world, you cannot get to the White Desert at all. Which is it's a bit of a shame. The White Desert's still my favourite area in the game. But if you get up here, or to any of the raised platforms in the block world actually, something weird happens. You can still walk around on normal, but you're on like a separate plane to everything else. So rather than passing through objects, you're now passing on top of them. And I didn't actually check at the time whether or not you can interact with the door. I believe you can, but I didn't get that on video. But it's very surreal just to see you going on top of everything rather than going through it. Anyway, that's about it for walkthrough walls stuff. If I find anything else, I'll make a follow-up video. But as it stands, that's pretty much all we have for now. All the details on what I know you can and can't do will be in the description. So yeah, that's basically it for now. There is one last thing that I didn't know back when I was making the old montage video at the end of the LP. If you meow with the cat, the spaceship will actually go backwards. If you look at the background, you can see it's it's scrolling in the opposite direction. Very strange little detail there. I never bothered to check. So yeah, that is something I missed, and I thought I'd show it off just for you know, the sake of completion. Anyway, I've been rambling on for a while now, so until I see you again, which will probably be for the next part of Bug's Life, this has been MarcBrightside, and this has been Yume Nikki. So until then, take care, and see you all next time. Goodbye.